In a kingdom far away, the peasants are regularly locked out of their homes and exposed to wild animals, freezing rain at night, and blistering heat during the day. When the king heard about this, he sent his advisors and learned that all the locks had been enchanted with a spell that caused the locks to change without notice. The king offered to pay keymakers throughout the land 1 piece of silver to make new keys for the peasants whenever they were locked out of their homes. However, only a few keymakers offered their skills to craft keys, since the steel needed to make the keys cost the keymakers 2 pieces of silver. The king then declared that he would pay wise magistrates in each town to discover a way to pay keymakers enough silver to make keys for the peasants and ensure that none of them were ever locked out of their homes. All the king asked in return was that the magistrates use the money he paid them wisely, and that all the keymakers were trained and members of a Keymakers Guild.
Are you the person known as the Keymaker that lives by the mill?
Yes, I am. But you can just call me Kay.
Thank you, Kay. The king has authorized me to hire a local craftsman to make keys for the peasants. Are you willing to accept this and become our town's official Keymaker?
Yes, I will accept.
Great. I just need to check your training and have proof that you are a member of the Keymakers Guild. Hi there, Kay. All of the peasants seem happy, and there are no reports of anyone being locked out of their homes. I wanted to come by and thank you for your great work.
Thank you for the compliment. I have been working day and night to make that happen. However, I need to hire this apprentice to help me. Would that be okay?
Of course, Kay. I just need to make sure that he is trained and is a member of the Assistant Keymakers Guild. Everything seems to be in order here. Thank you both.
You must be the Keymaker known as Kay that I have heard so much about.
Your Highness, yes, I am Kay, and I am humbled by your visit.
You may rise, Kay. My visit is due to a letter I received from one of your past apprentices that states you allowed the very first apprentice you hired to make keys, even though his Carpenters Guild membership was cancelled. Is this true?
I don't know. My shop only makes keys, and I only hire keymaker apprentices, so I must admit to being unaware of the carpentry trade and their guild. As instructed by the magistrate, I do make sure that every keymaker apprentice is trained and is a member of the Assistant Keymaker Guild. In addition, I oversee all their work.
Well, Kay, I believe that anyone that loses 1 guild membership should not be able to perform skilled work for me using another guild membership. I posted a list of those that lost a guild membership in every town, and I can show you the name of your apprentice that clearly shows he cannot perform carpentry for the king.
Your Highness, I can see his name and remember seeing it when posted in the town square, but I did not employ this apprentice as a carpenter.
I was advised that if a craftsman loses his membership in any guild, that I should not allow that craftsman to work for me in any trade. So that is what I decreed. My advisors always know best, since they are the most popular people in my kingdom.
I am your humble subject and may not be as wise as your advisors, but that makes no sense. Why would you prevent someone from making keys for the kingdom simply because they lost their Carpenters Guild membership? One has nothing to do with the other.
That's the law, and I command it, regardless if it makes sense or not. Furthermore, I command that you pay me twice the amount paid by the magistrate for the keys made by this apprentice that lost his Carpenters Guild membership.
But Your Highness, all the keys made by the apprentice worked and kept peasants from being locked out of their homes. Also, what you are asking is 20 times what I made for making the keys. This will ruin my family and me and will force me to close my shop. Without my shop, the peasants in town will be locked out of their homes and subject to wild animals and the harsh weather, and they have to resort to emergency measures, which is 100 times more costly for the kingdom.
Well, that's the law, and that's my decision. I know that my magistrate checked the training record and membership guild and did not bring up this law to your attention. But law is the law.
Your Highness, the keys making were supervised by myself, who had direct contract with your magistrate. And besides, this apprentice who already paid by my shop. Lots of other people were involved and got paid to make this happen, plus the cost of material for key making. Charging me twice of what I got for them, without even considering the cost of making keys, is not what I expected from your wisdom.
Well, law is the law, and I know that you have been one of the loyal and obedient keymakers of this kingdom, but you should have known the law of membership overlap.
Kay, the Keymaker, paid the king the money he demanded, but, as foretold, he was forced to close his shop. Years passed, and the magistrate could not find anyone as good to replace Kay. So, as the Keymaker predicted, peasants began being locked out of their homes by the enchantment. The king and his advisors later learned of the problem, but could not understand why no keymakers would come forward to make keys for the town. After what happened to Kay, nobody had a tendency to make keys as they were afraid something like this could happen to them, regardless of how careful they are. But the king had long forgotten about Kay, and also the king forgot about his not-so-wise decision. It seemed the king and his advisors were more interested in serving their own self-proclaimed wisdom rather than serving the good of the people.